tell the story? I was gonna tell stories too. Hi, my name's Frankie, and I'm gonna tell you the story about how Isla came to be. So I got pregnant when I was 17. I was in my senior year of high school, and I didn't know I was pregnant until very far along, which sounds stupid, but let me explain. So when I was going into grade 11, I moved away from my family. I was living like 8 hours away, going to a school for dance. And around that time, I started getting really, really sick. I didn't really know what was going on. I just started puking a lot, and I lost a ton of weight super fast, and I was just underweight and not healthy. I saw a ton of specialists trying to figure out what was going on, and in case anybody was curious, I had stomach migraines. So that had been going on for like 2 years. So when I actually got pregnant, I honestly had no clue that any of the symptoms that were happening to me were a symptom of pregnancy. I honestly just thought that they were part of stomach migraines, like morning sickness, puking all the time. Girl, that was already happening on the daily. I hadn't gotten my period in 2 years because I was so underweight, so missing a period didn't faze me at all. My uterus is like tilted back, so even when the baby started growing, I didn't have a belly. And also, I didn't gain much weight at all. So really all of the like telltale signs and symptoms that are supposed to happen and indicate to you that, hey, maybe you're pregnant, just flew over my head because that was the life I was already living. So flash forward to August of 2019, I was supposed to get my tonsils out. So I went in to get the surgery, and before they take you in for surgery, they do a pregnancy test just to make sure you're not pregnant before they continue. And obviously, that came back positive. That was a real shock to me because a month and a half prior to surgery, I had a pregnancy test at a clinic along with a bunch of other routine tests, and that came back negative. So I was genuinely shocked. So at the hospital, they did an ultrasound right away, and I found out how many weeks along I was. I was 18 weeks. So to put that into perspective, a pregnancy lasts typically 40 weeks. I was almost halfway done. The first thing I did was run out of the hospital bawling and tell my mom. She was there to pick me up because she thought I had just had surgery, and I just was crying, freaking out. I was like, Mom, I'm pregnant. And she just looked at me and she's like, okay. She's like, that's okay. She's like, you're not dying. Everything's fine. We're gonna figure this out and it's all gonna work out. I was not as calm and level-headed, but my mom was super awesome. We didn't talk about it too much that day, but the next day I had an appointment with my doctor to talk about the results of the ultrasound, my options, and everything that I needed to decide. So we went to the appointment the next day. I brought my mom with me. The ultrasound showed up awesome. Everything was great. She was a good size. She was healthy. No deformities or abnormalities. She was perfectly fine. At that appointment, we did talk about my options because I did have options. I didn't know whether I wanted to keep the baby or not, and that was a really hard decision for me to make. Recently, actually, people have been making like fake accounts on Snapchat and straight up asking me like, you ruined your life, why didn't you have an abortion? Was that even something you thought about? And of course that was something I thought about. I'm super young. She was not part of my initial life plan, even though I'm very glad that she's here now. And I know that I had a choice, just like everybody should have a choice, but it wasn't the right choice for me. So in my head, I was already so far along that it just didn't seem ethical. It didn't sit right with me. And I knew that I had such an amazing support system and people around me that I could give her a good life. I could give her everything that she needed, and I was ready to take on this new challenge. Also, I always knew that I wanted to have kids. Maybe not this young, but I always knew that I wanted to have kids and have a family. So that's what I did. That's what I decided. I decided that I was having her, and then it was time to tell everybody else in my world. So I told my boyfriend, my baby daddy, and he was less than stoked, honestly. Of course, that's a huge shock. We were not obviously trying to have a baby, and he was 17 at the time as well, so he was very young, and I'm positive that having kids at 17 wasn't part of his life plan either. So that was a big conversation, and in the end he decided that he was in this just as much as I was, and he wanted to be a part of her life as well, and he has been there and supportive and amazing ever since then. So I'm very grateful for him. So after I made my decision, apart from telling my family and his family, I pretty much kept my pregnancy to myself. And I did not do that because I was embarrassed. I did not do that because I wasn't sure about my decision. I did that because I knew that if I announced it to the world, it was gonna come with a lot of unwanted opinions, really negative opinions, and I just didn't want to worry about what anybody had to say. So while I really wasn't actively hiding it, I didn't announce it. And I'm really glad that I did that. I think that because I didn't tell a whole bunch of people I didn't really know, or like because I didn't announce it on social media, I was able to like enjoy my pregnancy so much more. We got to have like a fun family gender reveal. We got to go see the baby in 3D at a fun ultrasound, and I got to live my life without worrying about anybody else except for me and my baby. So after I found out I was having her, I had roughly 5.5 months to prepare, to get everything ready, the nursery done. We got a whole bunch of hand-me-downs from some pretty amazing family members who had just had babies or who had kept their baby things from their kids. And we did a bunch of baby shopping, which was so much fun. Got everything ready and prepared, and then she came. She arrived on February the 6th. She was 7 pounds, 10 ounces, and we decided to name her Isla. She is now almost 3 months old, and she is so much fun. My brother and sister absolutely love being aunts and uncles. They love playing with her, doing all kinds of things with her, except somehow when her diaper stinks, she always ends up back with me. But all in all, I absolutely would not have changed this experience for the world. I would not change her for the world. While part of me wishes that I had waited for the future, I think that everything happens for a reason, and this worked out very well for me in the sense that being pregnant actually fixed my stomach migraines. So I'm not puking all the time. I'm at a normal weight, which is amazing. I can eat without having to worry about whether it's going to come back up or not. I can work out and feel good, and I can really focus on building a life for me and now my baby as well. I don't think that I could have gotten through university puking all the time. I don't think that was on the table for me. And while figuring out my life with an infant is going to be incredibly hard, it's going to be so much more enjoyable. My quality of life is going to be 10 times better, and I have an amazing little human coming along for the ride with me. So yeah. I've wanted to film this video for a while just to document my life with Isla and to have something to look back at when she's older, and to have this piece of my life and my headspace and where I'm at saved for me to look back on as we grow and as our lives progress. I want to film a whole bunch more videos. I don't want to forget anything. So yeah, if you were curious about my story or however you happen to stumble across this video, great. Now you know all about me. And if you're interested on joining us on this crazy adventure of teen pregnancy and being a teen mom, then stay tuned because I'm gonna film a heck of a lot more. Thanks for watching. Bye.